Welcome, I'm Lee Kellogg, and thank you for joining me on another nature journaling adventure. Today we are at a little shopping area called La Tienda, which means the store in Spanish. Appropriately, it's in my neighborhood. And the cool thing about this was several years ago we used to have a little gardening center here, which is long gone, but the remnants of the work that they did are still found here. So they paired up with a couple of people who were very good at rescuing cactus and cultivating cactus. So we're going to go look at some of the parking strips around the parking lot that are full of cactus that were found in the local area, and they're all from our neighborhood. And the cool thing is that this is a great way for you to get out and nature journal, to explore like the parking strips and like I said in another earlier video, get out and explore your neighborhood, your local parks, your public buildings. Sometimes even the business parks have some amazing landscaping. So let's go explore some cactus that's in bloom. So you can see along the parking strip here, we've got just a whole planting bed full of cactus, and we've got some yuccas in here that of different types, and there's some cholla plants, which are also a cactus. The chollas are the slightly taller, prickly ones. This one right here in the center is a cholla, and we will definitely come back when the chollas are in bloom and see what they're up to, because I see several different kinds here, and there's numerous prickly pear and hedgehog cactus in here. So let's go look at some of these close up and look at their colorful blossoms. So here we have a pink prickly pear, and they're wonderful. I mean, I love all the cactus. So we've got a pink one blossom, and it's early in the morning here still, so the cactus blossoms tend to open more as the sunlight gains in intensity and as the day moves on. So during midday, the blossoms are much more open. And coming down here, the red is the claret cup hedgehog. And I planted one of these in my yard, but they do grow naturally all around this area. And they're just a wonderful scarlety blossom. I have a peachy colored prickly pear, and this guy, look at the thorns on this guy. He is just like coated with lots of spines and densely covered with spines. And as we move up, we're going to look at another pink. We'll get to the pink prickly pear here in a minute, but that talks about the demonstration garden and how it was sponsored by the shopping center that we're at and when it was planted. So 2011. 9 years these guys have been growing. So more prickly pear, and look at the lack of spines on this particular one. They're there, but this is not like the one we just saw. Fun. This is another prickly pear, and you can tell the pads on this guy are different. He's got another pink blossom, but he's just a little puffier and a little fatter and rounder in comparison to the one we just looked at. This one may be similar to the one we just saw, but has a much lower growth habit. He's not very high. His pads are much smaller. So these are all things we look at when we're looking at plants that are similar. Like we've got all these prickly pears, that they're similar looking, but this guy's got he's lower growth habit. His pads are smaller. They're a little rounder, just a little different. It could be similar to the one we just looked at, but it may not be. And tucked back here in the shadow is another claret cup hedgehog getting ready to bloom. So this is lovely. We've got a couple of beautiful pink blossoms open. Bugs are working it. I see some ants in the background there. And then right behind this prickly pear that's got the pink blossoms, you can see the one see the difference in the thorns and the pad size. And the one behind the pink blooming prickly pear is not yet in bloom. He's got the blossoms coming, but nothing showing yet. This guy is like a mound of little hedgehogs that they all mounded up, and I can tell they're all done blooming. You can see the dried blossoms on them. So they're a little earlier bloomer, and obviously red, but it's just very cool how it's all mounded up like that. And that mound is about 12 inches high by about 18 inches across. Ooh, we got a little lizard working in the background. couple of different hedgehogs here, and the hedgehogs, we saw in one of my other videos, the green, the sort of fluorescently yellow-green little green hedgehog, and these are the scarlet or the claret cup hedgehogs, and there's a couple of variations on them. Down like to the right in the screen, you'll see a lower, smaller hedgehog, and the one to the left is much larger. So the guy on the left, the plant on the left, is probably about 18 inches high, and that is an old cactus. That guy's, he's probably 20 to 30 years old. So here's my cactus page from our visit to the parking strip with all the blooming prickly pears and hedgehogs. And I just did a couple of them and distinguishing some of the differences. I don't have their scientific names because I have not found them, other than I know the prickly pears are Opuntia. And the hedgehogs have variations within the claret cup family. So that's what I did. And you know, once again, when you do your journal pages, they don't have to be exact. We're not after architectural renderings or deep scientific details. Put information down so that you know what you saw and that you can remember it. So when you flip to that page, you can talk about what you saw and how it impacted you. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all the cactus in bloom. They're so special. I don't know why, but I love the cactus when they bloom because the colors are so bright and vibrant and happy. And cactus sort of get a bum rap because they've got all the pricklies and all the thorns and the spines, and yeah, some of them are not so fun when you get them stuck in you. But I still love the cactus when they bloom. So I'm Lee Kellogg. Thank you for joining me today on this nature journaling adventure. And please do click subscribe to this channel so you get these videos regularly, and be sure to click the little bell so that you get notifications of when the next video is up. And you can always find us at naturejournalingtours.com or leekellogg.com. And I will see you on the next episode.